What's up, all my NFL draft wizards? It's your boy Jay Tuck, and today I want to talk about prospect Luther Burden III, wide receiver out of the University of Missouri. And you guys know I'm a Jayhawker, right? So we don't speak too highly when it comes to Missouri Tigers, but I will have to tell you this kid is box office. He is a junior out of East St. Louis, and this year I want to do things a little bit differently when it comes to this channel, right? I just don't want to show you guys the film because one, everyone's showing film right now, so it's kind of getting watered down. So I really want to take you guys a layer deeper when it comes to scouting draft prospects, right? So we want to start with the intangibles, where he comes from, and then we'll get over to the film here shortly. But he was five-star recruit out of East St. Louis to the University of Missouri, and even in his freshman year, right, he played in 13 games as a freshman, had 10 starts, right, had 45 catches for 375 yards, not bad for a freshman. But last year, his sophomore season, that's where he really exploded. He led the Tigers in receptions with 86 receptions, 1,200 yards, 9 touchdowns, earned first team All SEC, got a lot of rewards. Now, I will say this when it comes to LB3 is this season, it really doesn't feel the same as last year, his junior year, right? So thus far, he only has 505 yards, 45 receptions. So he's not really on track to have the same type of season he had in his sophomore campaign. And I will say this early on. The thing that I think a lot of scouts are going to question when it comes to him is in the big games, right? The OUs, the Alabamas, right? Those types of games, you kind of go missing, right? But in the smaller games, even though in his sophomore year he kind of exploded versus K-State, but if you go to his Ohio State game in 2023, it wasn't the same. So who is he really versus top talent? I think that's going to be the question mark when it comes to LB3. Now, if you look at him from a wide receiver standpoint, he is a slot wide receiver. So for a lot of Cowboys fans who are kind of asking me about him, he is primarily a slot guy, and I think that's where he's going to be at the NFL level. So he doesn't get pressed a lot. You're not going to see corners up in his grill. He's going to get a lot of free releases, but he's primarily used in the slot, and they'll also use him in the backfield. So let's go ahead and get over into the film. All right, so what we're going to do, as we always preach on this channel, we're going to start from the ground up. So when you watch LB3's stance, and I call him LB3 because that's his nickname, right? When you watch his stance, he's not really in a loaded stance. He looks very comfortable. Now, I know some people don't like the hands down, right, approach. But like I said, he's going to get free releases. So it's not like this corner is going to be able to come up and press him. So he really doesn't need to get his hands up quickly. But it's like, it's a comfortable stance. He's not widely loaded or cocked or anything like that. So I don't see any knock with his stance, right? So what you're going to have is this corner is pretty much facing him head up, right? You can smell his breath, right? So it's not a outside shade or inside shade. They're going to play directly over him as he's the point on the stack up here, up top. So what he's going to do is going to have this two-way go, and you're going to see his release and watch his footwork. He's going to set up this inside jab right there just to get this corner to leave slightly, and so he can release outside, right? So good footwork, right? And even though he didn't get to, get the reception, right? Overall, I feel like he's not a burner, right? He's athletic, extremely athletic, and you'll see some of that agility in some of the upcoming clips, but he's not like Isaiah Bonds, another draft prospect we'll talk about, where it's just like if you blink you're going to sleep. But he can still stack corners, like I said, from the slot position. So when you watch him, right, he has good stride, and I think he's probably going to run like a 4.3. I think he's going to be a 4.3 guy, but he doesn't play like it on the field when it comes to running his releases and going through his stems. Now, when he gets the ball in his hands, he's a completely different animal, which we'll talk about here shortly. But overall, like I said, good release, not too concerned, very comfortable wide receiver, and I like his footwork. You'll see that on this play right here. Now, he doesn't explode off the line of scrimmage once again, right? But like I said, overall extremely comfortable. And the thing that I like about him is when he gets to the top of his routes, he's very agile, and you can see his hip sink. So right and there, right? Fluid, right? So being able to bend out those stems to get on that out route, and then you'll see him on this play right here. Hands extended, high pointing the ball, right? Not catching with your body, securing the catch, right? So if you watch him at full speed, the route looks smooth. The route looks smooth. There's not a lot of wasted motion when it comes to LB3 and his route, especially from the slot position. So this play is going to represent some of the versatility. Like I said, Missouri will line him up in the backfield. Now, he's not a guy they're going to hand the ball off to by any means, right? But just kind of watching the routes, you can run some of these flat routes and maybe get him lined up on a linebacker. And I think that's an opportunity that you really want to take advantage of, because he is a guy, for the Cowboys fans watching, he is Mike McCarthy offense friendly, right? If you can run a stop route and he can take on these stop routes or core routes and go to the crib, and we'll see that here shortly, right? But if you can get him matched up on a linebacker, that's definitely going to favor LB3, and you'll see it on this play right here. Coming out of the backfield is a quick throw. This is easy money. This is easy money. This is throws that any of us watching this channel can make, and all you have to do is just dump to LB3 out the backfield and let him go use his God-given ability. So he's going to be very offense friendly, because he is a guy that you just have to get the ball in his hands. He's not going to be a guy that's going to stretch the field and run these deep corner routes, and like, just give him the ball quickly, quick throws, let him get in space and let him go create. And he's definitely that player. And I think this is why a lot of scouts are really going to be foaming at the mouth when it comes to LB3 out of Missouri. Hips, fluid, good ability there. All right, on this play right here, right, so he's lined up as the number 3 receiver. And once again, even though he kind of slowly comes off out of his burst, right? Boom. Watch. Once he gets the ball in his hands, there's the gear, right? There's the gear. And I've scouted Alabama. I did Boston College, and I did Tennessee. So I'm about 3 games in the scouting process. And that's the one thing I noticed when it comes to him, is that he doesn't explode off the line of scrimmage, or even when the ball is not coming to him. I'll go ahead and already slap that on him, because I'm seeing it consistently, even just from watching his games. But once he gets the ball in his hands, y'all, it revs up. It's just a completely different boost, right? So I think that at the NFL level, right, you want to see consistency exploding off the line of scrimmage. But man, once he gets the ball in his hands, he can just make things happen. And you'll see that on this play right here. Once again, nothing too crazy. It's a simple out route. Made you miss, bro. Made you miss. Made you miss. Made you miss. So I'm making all of y'all miss, right? This is a simple, quick out route. Nothing you have to scheme up. You don't have to be an offensive guru. Simple out route. Little pick. Boom. Turn. Make the defender miss. Turns upfield. Make this defender miss. Make that defender miss. Split the tacklers. Get into the end zone. That's what's going to make LB3 special, and a lot of NFL scouts and NFL organizations are going to want his kid on their roster simply for that, right? There's nothing really to it. You just get him the ball in space, and just let him go create. And this play right here, maybe a few NFL coaches will probably be screaming at him, but once again, just being able to make people miss and reverse field and just get back to the line of scrimmage, right? So you see that agility, you see that burst, you see that athleticism when it comes to him, is that he's going to be one of those guys. It's just simple, dump it off and just sit back and watch the magic happen. And then on this play right here, nothing too crazy, but he's always making people miss. I feel like, you know, when he gets the ball in his hands, he is a space guy. He is definitely going to be a space guy. That's going to be one of those shifty guys that, you know, if you're in a West Coast offense like the Dallas Cowboys, but that'll probably change once Mike McCarthy is gone, right? Quick throws and go be a playmaker. Now, when it comes to outside effort, right, because you just don't want to watch the highlights. Okay, what are you doing when the ball is not in your hands? As far as a blocker, I mean, granted, he's a wide receiver. He's a smaller build guy. Is he a willing blocker? Yes. But is he going to impactful blocker? No, he's really not trying to block at all, right? So I would say that would probably be an area of focus that, hey, bro, when the ball's not coming to you, you still got to give some of that effort, right? You still got to give some of that effort. You see right there, the defender's able to slip off him and make the tackle. And he even knows he messed up. Like, bro, I should have engaged a little bit more, right? So he's not going to be a guy that can kind of, you know, run behind. But I think that's going to be the biggest area of improvement. It's like you have to be the complete package, right? You can't only be a star when the ball is in your hands. What are you doing when the ball is not in your hands? And then there is a fumble situation that happened on this situation. It's not too frequent, so I'm not too alarmed by it. But, you know, you can't drop the money, bro. You can't drop the money. So, like I said, he's just trying to make something happen. And Boston College was able to knock the ball out of his hands. But I don't think he has a fumbling problem. I think that was just a good play from defenders. And then this play right here, like I said, just watching him, it just doesn't explode off the line of scrimmage, right? Especially when the ball isn't coming his way. So those are a few things I would definitely fix. Just be more consistent, even the ball's not coming your way. And just be a little bit more of a willing blocker, right? Just try to give that maximum effort. But overall, y'all, phenomenal talent, phenomenal prospect. We will dive in deeper, I'm sure, once we gear up for draft season next year, is probably around March or so, and look at some more film. But as of right now, LB3 is definitely a first round talent that I think that a lot of teams are going to be talking about, especially post combine this NFL draft season, man. So it's your boy J Tuck. Comment, like, subscribe. Follow me on all social media platforms at JTuck151. If you love draft content, you're in the right space. So turn that notification bell so you do not miss out. I want everyone to stay safe, stay blessed, stay encouraged. And if you're a Dallas Cowboys fan, we need a wide receiver. Bad. Peace.